We don't condone the use of any illegal substance or any illegal activity. This video is intended for instructional and educational purpose only. Watch at your own risk. Viewer discretion is advised.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
In the garden where the green leaves sway, see bunnies rolling up, we light it our way. Mr. Gettis got the bombs, we puffin' all night. Talking cultivation, yeah, we're feeling alright. Light it up, feel the vibe, let it be known. Garden cultivation network, we on the scene. Rolling that green, living out the dream. Shouting about the strains, how to plan it right. Join us every week, yeah, we light up the night. Wednesday to Friday, we keep it alive. Cannabis talks, everybody's feeling high. Sharing secrets of the grow is a sacred art. In this cultivation game, you gotta play your part. Keep it real, keep it tight, watch the plants grow. Garden cultivation network, we on the scene. Rolling that green, living out the dream. Chatting about the strains, how to plan it right. Join us every week, yeah, we light up the night.
Yo.
Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. Finally. Middle of the week.
Yes, we're getting there. My kids have no school Friday, so tomorrow is Friday for me.
Nice. That's all right, though. That's all right. It's getting warmer here. Snow is
that's
starting
good news.
A little bit. Finally, thankfully.
Nice.
No more fucking minus 30 for us.
Minus 30. Try minus 40.
Oh, it wasn't minus 40 here.
It's still cold. It's still cold either way. It's freezing. So just a reminder, we are over on Spotify. Excuse me. Under Garden Cultivation Network. We are also over on Instagram under Garden Cultivation Network. Sea Bunny Grows Too and Mr. Organic.
Yeah. Yes. And last week we did we had a little conversation amongst ourselves where we got to know us a little better. We spent a lot of time getting to know the community, and last week we had a cancellation, so we ended up just, instead of bringing somebody on, we brought ourselves on and we talked to each other, and you guys asked questions, and it was a pretty fun night.
It was. So if you want to check that out, all you have to do is scroll back onto our YouTube page and the interviews are there. And Friday was our 500 subscriber giveaway. So congratulations to all the winners. Again, thank you to those who made this possible, and thank you to the community.
Yes. That was a really good show. We a lot of people turned up for that one, and yeah, we hung out.
It was.
Looked at some nice gardens, gave some shit away, and celebrated our first milestone on this page. So yeah, it was a good time. A lot of fun.
Yes.
I love giving shit. Giving shit away. It's
great.
Good times.
And this week, who do we have this week?
This week we have
Charlene Paul.
Oh, you guys make me nervous. With that intro and myself, I'm just like,
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. So for anybody that doesn't know who you are, do you want to give people a little description or a little introduction of who you are?
My name is Charlene Paul. I am property manager at Day. I've been growing outdoors for 24 years. So that's my passion, is outdoor growing. Been growing indoors for about 4 years now. I definitely am still learning on that every day. I also am obsessed with pit bulls, so I talk about my dogs all the time, and I'm part of the Grandmaster LEDs crew. Yeah, I just kind of bounce around and do all kinds of shit. Whoever wants things done and needs help or wants a little bit of Charlene, I'm just like, hey, let me sprinkle a little
Sprinkle
and
that
carry
shit
it
on
on.
everything.
Yeah,
I
That's
love
funny.
it.
I try to
24
anyways.
years.
Yeah,
Outdoor growing
Yes.
24 years.
you know,
So,
when we're kids, it's just like, oh, we smoke, we got this seed, let's try and grow. And so the first 2 years were like that. And then I got connected with the Oregon
Oh,
medical marijuana and I started becoming active in that and then actually, learning how to really grow medical cannabis and just went from there year after year after year. Last year was the best so far, though.
oh,
God
I've
damn.
yeah, I was
seen
just
your
saying,
plants. They are beautiful. That's
Oh,
not even a
that's
word for it. They're like amazing. Yeah.
yeah.
So would you say you're more organic or synthetic when it comes to growing?
I use Lotus and I use Athena. We use both. I don't use really anything else. I use Mim Horticulture's microbial mass, but um other than that, I mean, we use some microbial life too. I think in this back tent back here, Eric uses that. But I mean, so not really organic, but I use as little as possible. I don't add anything
Yeah.
else to that stuff. We do a really good flush too at the end. So
I think
yeah.
Lotus is organic, isn't it? I thought. Maybe not.
Um, I I want to say it is, but I don't think so. I
Or
don't
it's
read
all
anything
natural
on
or
there.
something. I
Yeah.
think maybe it was
Organic.
all natural. They couldn't say it was organic, but I think it technically was. They just didn't have the OMRI certification, so they say it's
Yeah.
like all natural or something stupid like that. But yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I've
And
seen
then
a lot
uh,
of a lot of amazing plants grown with Lotus. A lot.
yeah,
There's
we
a lot of
grow
people
them.
using that at one point.
We usually do side by side, and I mean, as you can tell, they both come out phenomenal. I can't, I think with some different strains react a little different between the Lotus and the Athena. But I mean, they both come out phenomenal. I can't be like, oh, I'm just going to use Lotus or I'm just going to use Athena. I just am, I have OCD and it won't allow me to stop one because I just love them
Right.
both. So we just
Yeah.
use them both.
Well, I think they're both very supportive companies too. Like
Hmm.
Athena's, I've seen a lot of people that are using Athena right now. They seem to love the company as a whole, not just the nutrients, but the company. And I've met, God, I can't even remember what her name is from Lotus. She came on, Anne, I think, came on a long time ago from. It wasn't Lotus. It was Grow Industries or it's the
Oh,
one
okay.
that's
Grow
Lotus,
Strong.
Gorilla,
Yeah,
Grow
Grow
Strong.
Strong Industries.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's who it was. But I met them and they were super cool, really, really nice, very easy to talk to people, and yeah, so
Yeah,
it's
they're
cool.
really great. My rep girl for them, she ended up taking another job somewhere though. So she sent me my goodbye email and it was like a breakup, I swear. I just was like, "Oh, over an email
How
even." Oh
dare
my
you?
god.
Yeah.
But they always have great
Love that.
people, so I'm sure that, somebody great will come about.
Yeah, nice. So what was it that made you want to do the indoor growing after being an outdoor grower for so long? What made you actually take the jump to setting a tent up and getting lights and doing the whole indoor thing?
Eric, my boyfriend, he's grown indoors for a while before we got together. And so we both went through a rough couple years where, there was no really place to grow indoors. And then when we got this place, he had a 4x4 tent and he threw it up in the living room. It's a real small, single wide mobile home trailer. So he threw it up in the living room and started some seeds in there, and it just kind of was like, whoa. And I just kind of watched him for a little bit, and then he kind of would tell me what he was doing and show me. And after a while, I just kind of went in there, and I think at first I was like, oh, I could go in here and take some pictures and be cute with these plants,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then it was like, whoa, there's a lot more going on in here than just taking some
Yeah.
pictures. And so then I realized that the dogs love it too, and it was just like, oh, okay, this is fucking cool. Come on, let's go in the tent.
Yeah.
Grow these plants. And I know a lot of people don't come at me for having my dogs in my plants. I do what I want to do. But I know,
Yeah, exactly.
people, they got something to say about everything. But so, yeah, it just
Of
became
course.
cool thing, and I just kind of took it over for a while, for a couple years almost, actually, until here recently we got 2 5x5s next to each other, and we've decided to, one's mine, one's his. Do you, I'll do me. So
don't touch mine, I won't touch yours.
Right. So yeah, it
Cool,
just
though.
started like that, and we both realized that we can grow good outside, so let's do indoors and see 10 years, 15 years where it is now.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Nice. That's cool.
So what kind of what's your go-to soil, or do you do hydroponics, or?
So I love Lucky Dog. It's the canine cube. It comes in a big old giant, like 3.5 cubic foot, I think, square. Okay. I really, really love that. I don't tend to have any type of overwatering issues or underwatering with it. I mean, we just use it for years, and I really like it. I do like the Cocoa Kaboom, I think it's a Fox Farm, a Cocoa Kaboom. So if I could get that and mix that with the Lucky Dog, that would probably be my ideal. But they don't have that in this town I live in, and to ship soil is just fucking outrageous.
Ridiculous.
It's
yeah.
I know I couldn't get Pro Mix or something one time, and I was like, well, I'll just order it. Like, you can buy it from anywhere. And
Yeah.
it was like $40 to buy the bale, and it was like $150 to ship it. And I was like, no fucking way.
Yeah, it's
I'll
crazy.
dig a hole in my backyard before I $150.
They spend that much.
Yeah, for sure. And so we've tried hydro. I don't know what the can shoot me in the head, but we will literally get to a really solid, good point. The plant is growing good. The roots are fucking amazing. You pull it out and you're just like, oh, this is what people, have their root porn over. You're just like, and then it gets like to a point. I don't even know what the fuck happens. Like overnight, we unzip the tent and it's just like dead. It just is going to die. And then so we can't, I'm going to really need to get with somebody and actually, learn before we even try to do it anymore. So we've stopped with the hydro. The bucket company, they sell cocoa cubes that I really want to try too. They would just fit right in my buckets. But the same thing with that too, like, shipping is just crazy on anything that weighs anything. So I haven't ordered those yet, but yeah, I want to give Cocoa a shot, but I really like the Fox Farm Lucky Dog Canine Cube. That shit is good. Has a good amount of perlite in it. I like it.
And it has the name Dog, which is perfect since you
love
the dog and canine. So I mean, that's perfect.
Yep.
Yeah, you're part of. Are you actually part of the adoption agency for that, or you're kind of like you just kind of help out? You're a spokesperson advocate for the dogs.
So it's so crazy how it happened. I mentioned I have OCD. And so it's not the OCD where you like tap the light switch 5 times before you walk out the door. It's more of the actual obsession. And so I'll give you a prime example. Like these hats, these aren't the only hats. I can't just have 5 hats. I have to have 105 hats, or
exactly.
5 pairs of sunglasses. I have to have 200 of them. And so You know, I've obsessed over pit bulls for my whole life, and last March, I wasn't even really aware of the crisis that the country and some of these states have with the homelessness of the dogs. I had no clue that 1 million dogs a year are being euthanized from shelters because people are failing them and they're running out of space, so they're just euthanizing them. So somebody sent me a video of a little girl named Daphne, and she was in a kennel in California in a shelter, and she just was so sad, and her face was right next to her own feces. And the name Daphne, she was like the favorite character on Scooby-Doo of my daughters for her entire life. And so when I saw that name, I just was like, oh my God, why are they going to kill this girl? And somebody was like, because they're running out of space down there. And I was like, well, no, they're not. They're not killing her. So, you know, I just went insane. I was like, I can't let her die. I showed her to Eric. I was like, you want to see the saddest thing ever? And I don't think he was expecting that. He was like, sure, whatever. And I showed it to him, and he was like, where is she? We're going to get her now. And so I had her transported up here to Oregon to me. And that just kind of started my OCD with this whole like helping these dogs. So I volunteer for a bunch of rescues that are, you know, actively trying to fight this battle mainly in California, because I'm from California. I know people down there and shit, but Texas, Florida, you know, Georgia, there's, you know, I network is what it's called. And I find people that want to foster these dogs so that way the rescues can pull them and save them. So in doing that,
that's amazing.
Added more dogs to my household though. I'm like, I'm just gonna foster her. Yeah, that's not Eric's like, you don't foster shit.
Just one.
Yeah, so that's basically what I do. You know, I'll donate to these rescues so that way they can afford to, you know, feed the dogs that they pull from the shelters. And I don't know. I've helped quite a few dogs. I'll never meet them, but it feels really, really good knowing that, you know, dogs are, in my opinion, the most loyal animate objects that exist. You're not going to find another thing that you could beat the holy fucking shit out of and is going to come right back to you and love you. You know what I mean? Like that. And And so it feels good when these people adopt them or foster them and they send you this picture of the dog smiling so big and they're just like, thank you so much. This dog is so amazing. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing too lately. I don't know. You know, I've had a lot of grief in my life too from losing my daughter and just losing my father. So it helps me. These dogs are like medicine to me. It really helps me feel a lot better. So, you know, people are shitty. So when I help these dogs, it's just great because
it feels good. Yeah.
Shitty people and ungrateful people. You're dealing with.
Well, they make the best conversation too. You can sit there and you can vent and you can tell the dog everything that was shitty in your day, and they listen.
They're not going to tell anyone.
Don't argue with you. You don't have to listen to what they have to say. You get to sit there and just say your piece, and then then you can cuddle on the couch and watch a movie with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
And a lot of dogs, they know what you're feeling. They know what you're saying. Like my dogs, they watch us all the time. They listen to us, so they know a lot of words. We won't even be talking to them. We'll be talking to each other, and they're eavesdropping over here, and they hear what we're saying, and they come and get all ready. Or, when they're sad, they know, and they come to, make you feel better. So yeah, they're just great little buddies. Except for mine are fiends.
They are.
They're just, I don't know. Even the ones that come from the shelters, I got 4 in the house from the shelters, and they're all fiends too, man. The second I unzip the tent, they come to the door of the tent and they're like, oh, please pull some leaves off and give us some leaves. Like, come on. They're like,
I want some.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, it's crazy. Like here, I don't know if they're still illegal, but at one point in time, pit bulls were actually illegal here,
They are
which
in parts of
Yeah.
your
was
areas.
mind
Yeah.
blowing to me. Like I've never personally never met a pit bull that was worse than another dog. Like I know they're out there,
No.
but you can get a golden retriever that's just as bad as the worst pit bull that people are complaining about is attacking people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Chihuahuas are the
And
worst.
Ugh, those things
right,
are crazy.
I know.
They are
So
little
Yeah.
ankle
the
biters.
next biggest thing here was the King Corsos.
Mm-hmm.
So when it came time for us to get a dog, we didn't go to the to get a puppy or anything like that. We adopted it. We had a friend that does similar things with rescues and stuff like that. So we got actually have gotten two dogs from this person. And the first one was like the best dog we ever could imagine. Second dog, same thing, like just unbelievable. But she was a blue brindle cane corso. And I think I was telling
Mm.
you before that was the one with the name Blue, because I think
Yeah.
you have one
Yeah.
named Blue as well. But
Yeah.
um, yeah, she is like the sweetest, most gentle dog ever. She's 150, 160 pounds.
It's just
She's a
so cute.
tank. People cross the road because they're terrified of her, but like all she wants to do is just
She
like
just
be
wants
around
lovin's.
people. She just loves
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She just wants to
It's like,
drape her lips all over and let her slobber go everywhere. Like that's all she
exactly.
wants to
Yep.
do. Yeah,
And it's
no,
exactly what she does, David.
it definitely is like that. I mean, I have seen some, unfortunately, I don't know why people get dogs and then just let them turn to shit or fail them. I don't understand it, but I have definitely seen quite a few, pit bulls that are they can't be with other dogs because of,
Yeah.
for whatever reason they were in, a shitty household, or they were around other dogs that, always bullied them or whatever. I've seen it, and I think I see a lot of it. I primarily focus on the pit bulls. So I'm seeing them a lot, but it is with a lot of dogs. I had a Walker Coonhound. She was a cool ass, great dog, but she wanted to kill anything that ran up a tree. It didn't matter what it was. Like, it's just, that was her. She's a hound dog. She's, they're bred to hunt up trees and kill what goes
Yeah.
up the tree. And so,
Yeah.
it's just, a lot of times I feel like 99% of the time it's the owner, it's the environment, it's the household. But
Yep.
there are, dogs do have issues like we do, where, sometimes there is something actually wrong with their fucking brain. And,
Yeah.
unfortunately, it can't be fixed. There's no like true evidence that dogs are bipolar, but they say that they have, they've seen situations where it's real similar like that. 1 second the dog's just great and cool, and the second it
Yeah.
just isn't. And it's unfortunate, but I'm a true believer of the environment of where the dog is.
For
I
sure.
think you can take a dog that's, a fucking asshole and put it in a great environment, and you can show that dog that they don't have to be like that anymore. Um,
Yep.
Yep.
so,
Definitely.
I take a lot of slack because a lot of people don't like pit bulls, but it's just like, everything else in life. Like, I don't know why you feel I care about your opinion when I don't even know who you are.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Exactly.
they
Exactly.
just need to, people just need to do what they like to do and not worry about what the fuck everybody
What
else
other
is
people are doing. Yep.
Yeah, at all.
Exactly.
For sure.
No, I agree with that for sure. Nice. So when you started your outdoor growing, we'll get back to growing now. When you started your outdoor growing, um, you said it was like you were smoking, teenager, or maybe not teenager, but young adult at the time, smoking. And was it a bag seed that you first started with, or was it like you went out and got genetics and you were right into this?
No, bag seeds, man. Like, you throw that shit in the ground outside your friend's grandma's house, you know, because she
Right.
don't ever go that far back there. We went to the golf course one time and threw some off to the side of the golf course out there, and nobody caught them, you guys. They even went and took pictures of the golf course, and you could see these fucking plants in these pictures. And it wasn't until they put the plants out there and somebody had called in and was like, you guys know that there's like weed plants growing out there? But yeah, so, and it wasn't always successful because, you know, you always got a male and you couldn't really do too much with it. But
Yeah.
I think it was like after those first 2 years of messing around, it was, and I started with the medical cannabis, you know, then I got a clone and it was like, whoa, this is life changing. And so
Yeah.
it started with clones, and then they made recreational stores legal in Oregon. And so then, you know, I picked up my first thing of seeds that I had bought, and that was it after that.
Nice. And were you growing with nutrients back then, or
I
were you like
was.
everybody else and went and got like the Miracle Grow and this is how I'm gonna start? No?
No, so I was using probably like 50 different things. I didn't even know what they all did. I just was like, bud candy. Oh, that sounds good. We'll use some of that.
Yeah.
You
Let's
know,
add to it. Yeah.
all so many things up until, man, I had done that for so long that it was hard to let some of that go. Even when I started with like the lotus and the Athena, it was like, well, shit, like don't. I want that though, you know, but you didn't need it. And so, yeah, it was literally probably like 20 different bottles of things that I was using. And a lot of times it was fucking up my plants or not letting them go to their full potential because it was too much. But advanced nutrients was some of my go-to, and general hydroponics was some of my go-to as well back then. And that bud candy, man, I was just like, man, I would have bought stock in that shit back in the day. I would have swore that was the reason why. I mean, I was just in love with that bud candy.
That's the one with the kid with the cotton candy on the cover, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I used to use Advance as well, and it was the same thing. It was like I was saying the other night actually, I have a picture somewhere, and my table looked like a grow store. Like it looked like a shelf in a grow shop. There was like every bottle of advanced nutrients that I think they make. And it was just all lined up. Like I did buy stocks in it without buying stocks in it. It was crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't
And
know.
then we got wild a couple years and we're like, oh, let's make our own soil. So we're out there with like face masks on and bone meal and, you know, all this shit that we just had no business doing. We made it so much complicated for ourselves. It was like, oh, you can't, you know, we can't harvest in the day because we can't let anything be seen by the light. Like all this weird shit back then, you know, where now it's just like, man, I was wild. I thought some wild shit would happen back then, you know? It's like if that light hit the roots, that plant would just disappear into thin air type shit, you know?
It just disappears.
Yeah.
The bro science. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it was just it was like, you know, you see something and you're like, oh, I like that. I'll use that and I'll use this and that and this and that and this and all of this. And it did good, but I ultimately I do believe that it, you know, my plans probably were stunted for a while. I mean, just compare, we're not, you know, from 5 years ago to this last harvest, it's not like I did a whole lot different or anything. I think I just was not using the right nutrients and over nutrient, you know, giving it too much nutrients. And so, yeah, once we stopped all that bullshit, they really just started taking off. And the genetics too that we grow, I think, have a lot to do with it. They're really good genetics too. So
Nice. Are you still doing a lot of Wallapini?
yeah, Wallapini. So my ride or dies are Wallapini, Purple Caper, Silly Rabbits, Humboldt Seed. I just love them. Mephisto. I just love them. Which I have almost all of them going right now, except for Wallapini. He's like, where's all the Wally? Well, you only sent me photos and it's not outdoor season yet, so you're gonna have to wait. But yeah, yeah, I've only found one. I think it's the Granddaddy Purple, the Wallapini Granddaddy Purple. That sucker, just water, nothing else for that thing. It didn't matter what I did. I was always getting the claw with my leaves with too much nitrogen on that thing. Like it's a real picky one. So that thing is seriously, I think, an only water. But other than that, man, they're pretty strong genetics going on with all those purple.
Yeah, he's got some nice stuff. He's got some nice stuff for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Purple Caper, this was the first year running them, and we threw them outside, and those plants, man, just went absolutely insane. And I have one going in the tent right now, and it's just incredible. I love their genetics.
I think there was.
So you're more of a.
Go ahead. I was going to say, correct me if I'm wrong, but there was a picture. There was a picture that you took this past grow season outside, off the roof of your house. And
yes,
you were
I remember that
the
one.
plants were still above, like they were still.
Yeah.
That
crazy.
was badass.
What happened was the prior year, we had like this fence paneling, okay, over the top to make it kind of bow. So when we put the plastic over, it was bowed. And when we started our last year grow, we didn't remove that. And the plants just grew real fast, real crazy. And before we knew it, they had grown through that fence paneling. So we were like, okay, cool. It's like a metal trellis, kind of like, it'll help support them.
Yeah.
I was like, this is cool. But they started getting so tall that we couldn't access them. We couldn't get, you couldn't go through that metal fence panel. And the plants that were in the middle, if we went from the sides, like you just couldn't get to them, and we couldn't really monitor them. Like I was like, man, I hope that some of these are all right when we pull them down. We couldn't see if they had bud rot. Like we couldn't, we couldn't access the top of those plants. And the only way to see what was going on pretty much was to get on the roof. It started with getting on the roof of the shed, but then they went above the actual house. And so we'd have to get on the roof of the house. So it was cool. But if we're going to have that fencing up there, I can't let them get so damn tall, because I was real nervous not being able to, inspect the buds once they started
see what's going on.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Ideally, honestly, though, I mean, unless we have, some property where, those could just grow that big in the middle of somewhere, I think for our next grow, I'm going to try to keep them shorter and just let them go like as wide as my mama.
Get wider. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you definitely prefer growing photos, or?
I prefer to grow photos. So, I mean, yeah, I prefer to grow photos outside. We have tried to grow some autos outside. So I prefer to do photos outside, autos inside, just because they go faster. Growing photos inside is just so slow for me. I'm like,
it takes forever.
Yeah.
You need a lot of patience for sure.
Yeah. I mean, if I could have more tents, or if I could have a couple rooms, then I could, I would definitely grow photos in one. But for what we have now, definitely autos indoors, photos outdoors. I do love photos more than I love autos. So yes.
Nice.
Same here.
Better for what you guys do indoors.
I fucking started my tent inside, and I started a bunch of autos, and I was like, yeah, this is great. And then like I have 2 that I put in my 10-gallon bucket, and here we are weeks past when they should have, started flowering for autos. And I've realized that started photos. So I have
no.
photos in this tent. They're getting huge too. So yeah,
I've
I'm
done
just
that
gonna let them
actually
veg
where
until time to go outside.
they showed up and they were supposed to be autos, and I'm growing them with a bunch of other autos, and I'm growing and I'm growing, and everything else is flower, and they're like 4 or 5 weeks into flower. These ones still haven't flipped, and they're getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I knew in my head I can't grow autos, so there's no way that my autos are getting this big. It's not possible. And then I moved them to a different tent, flipped the lights, and sure enough, they went into flower. So I bought autos and they showed up as photos. So they
Photos.
mixed them up.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah,
Yeah.
that's good. That's always
Well,
fun.
right. I think I'll just let them veg until I'm gonna clone them, and we produce a lot of clones for people around the. I live in a small town, so we call it the Valley. Around the Valley here for people, which is kind of cool. It's kind of not like, you know, once you start teaching people to grow their own, they don't need yours anymore, you know. So
Right.
Yeah.
you kind of fucking shooting yourself in the foot too. But man, we would offload 70 to 100 clones real fucking fast around here. So yeah,
Nice.
that's what we do
Nice.
too. So yeah, I'll clone
That's
them
cool.
and make some clones out of them, and then I guess they're just gonna be fucking huge this year because they're already pretty good size in that tent.
Yeah. Same when
Nice.
throw them outside. They'll be four
Yeah,
feet tall by the time they go out there.
yep, for sure.
Crazy. I was gonna ask something now. I don't remember.
I'm not.
Whatever.
I don't. So I want to let the chat know I have you on my phone and I can't really pay too much attention. So if you ask questions and I'm missing them, I'm sorry. Send them to me and
Bunny's
I'll answer.
pretty Bunny's pretty good at pinning the questions if there's questions up there. She'll
Okay,
Usually,
usually
yeah.
throw them up.
awesome.
They sneak by sometimes,
Yes.
but
Yeah,
she's pretty good
But
at it.
sometimes I'm so
So,
involved too. It's like, oops.
that's what you see. That's what part of my job is like, to check for questions, and sometimes I get too involved too, and then I don't get everybody's questions put down, and then I don't ask them.
but you guys got a hell of a lineup over there on GML.
Yeah, we got.
Like
Yes.
you guys
So how
got some
did
superstars up on that panel. So I mean, like there's a lot of information that's said on any given show. Like you don't want to miss them because there is so much information from some of those guys. Like you got Spartan, you got Heston, you got BC Bubble Man, you got Preston. Like there's so many people up there that are
killing it.
way like they have
yes.
so much knowledge in their head. I don't know where the fuck they keep it all,
Dude,
but yeah,
they're like up here and I'm like down here. I absorb
Oh.
so much from them. But yeah, you're
God.
right. They spit out so much sometimes that it's just like, um, on my computer I have a little notepad because there's a lot of times where they'll say something and I'm so involved with, what's going on, making sure everything's going on, that I don't really catch it all. So I'll put it on the notepad because I want to follow up with them later. Like maybe Spartan was saying something and I wasn't able to catch it all. And so
yeah.
I'll have a chance to ask him about it later. But yeah, man, those guys they're so smart and so brilliant when it comes to growing and just
Oh my
lights and
goodness.
Just growing in general, like not even just
yeah,
cannabis.
Yes.
Like
yeah,
I know Spartan likes to grow his vegetables and stuff like that, and Heston obviously Flora Farm. He's I when you think of like genius, like mad scientist, mad soil scientist, like that
yeah.
somebody that pops up in my head is that guy.
Yep.
So
Any type of those questions I have, it's absolutely Heston. And then usually Preston is my go-to for the anything kind of hydro and water.
yeah,
He's hit Preston, the way he has his setup. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I think it's phenomenal that he has such a gorgeous fucking grow and grows
Yes.
so fucking brilliantly well too. It's not like, oh, look at, I just have this pretty grow and I kind of can grow plants. I have this fucking colorful, gorgeous piece of artwork running all of my fucking shit, and my plants are just gorgeous too. Like, yeah, he's great. They're all so brilliant. And like I said, Thomas, you know, when he's talking about LEDs, I mean, it's like, how did you even learn all of that? Like, what are you talking, and how did you even learn all of that? It's great. It's great. I've learned so much from those guys. Because, you know, when you grow outside, there's a lot that goes into it, but it's not like growing indoors where you've got to.
Not at all.
Not at all. And so, you know, I don't know shit for growing indoors. So yeah, I learned so much from them, and having access to them, you know, is really, really useful, because if I have an issue in the tent, I can almost get a hold of one of them immediately to get it taken care of right away. So yeah. It's pretty fucking cool.
That's awesome.
With you.
Yeah.
I've learned a lot.
Yeah, we got to meet the GML crew in Toronto last year.
I know.
Which was pretty cool. So
it was cool.
And like, I was like, I go up and I'm talking to Spartan and I'm like, oh yeah, so what's this all about? And like, he's trying to sell me a light over here. And I'm like, you know what? I've been smoking weed since 8 o'clock this morning. I can't even follow along with what you're saying right now. Forget about the light. How's it going, man?
Right. Yeah. I really was hoping, we were supposed to go to the MJ BizCon. I was so excited for that. And then as soon as the fucking weather turned and it was like time to turn on your furnace and heat up your house, ours took a complete shit on us, like a week and a half before having to go to Vegas. So our funds had to go into that, and it just kind of was like, but we're definitely going to go next year. So I'm really excited about that. But yeah, it's super cool. You know, it, like Bunny, it would be nice to have another female.
Yes.
But you know, it's cool.
Yeah, it was funny. I was telling Charlene earlier. I was like, Bunny's just glad that we're having another woman on the show. She's sick of me.
Right?
Yes. Exactly.
Like, sick of me.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a perfect example right there, though. Like, there is women here in this space, but it's way overpopulated
hard to find
with
them.
men. Like,
yeah,
like your show, for instance, you're the only female on the show, and there's like 4 or 5 guys sitting there. You know what I mean? And then you come over here, and it's Bunny and I, so it's split 50-50. But then most of the people that come on the show are dudes.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, there's a lot of crazy, amazing female growers out there, but
yes,
they're not as easy to access, I guess, as some of the men. I mean, like, I don't know.
Some of them.
It'd be nice to get some.
Some of my favorites, like Mama Q, like, you know, they've kind of branched off and started doing other things now, and so they're not really, you know, growing cannabis or doing anything cannabis right now, and so it's just kind of like, and then some of them, like Karma Pharma, she's I think I would love to have her on the show, but she's
the one that wears the mask, right?
And she's so busy, and she's like extraordinaire, you know, out there doing 500 damn things. So they're either like not doing it anymore, or they're just so motivation driven that you're like, man, do I even want to ask her? Like, she's doing so much shit, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, it's I think it's kind of weird on Instagram right now. Like we were talking earlier, there are a lot of people complaining, whining, and I don't know. You know, a lot of my people are, like I said, doing other things right now and stuff. So I don't know. I think people have this false pretense too that they might get on there and make it big or get big, or I don't know.
Be famous.
Get rich overnight or something. Yeah.
Yeah, and so then they get mad and they're like, "Oh, fuck Instagram, I'm gone," you know?
Yeah.
Well,
It's
don't be
definitely the space has definitely changed. Like you've been here for quite a while. I remember like 4 years ago, something like that. I think is probably around the time that I started following you, 3, 4 years ago, probably. And I mean, back then, this space was a lot different than it is
it
now.
was.
Like
Yeah.
it was
Yeah,
all more about showing your plants and more about plants. Now it's a
Then
lot
the
of like
drama.
yeah,
arguing and beefs and
yeah,
bullshit and accounts getting banned and people wondering why their accounts get shut down, and
yeah.
there's a lot of that going on right now, and it's like fuck, it's almost frustrating to watch, to be honest with you.
It is. Can't we just like all get along? We all love the same plant. We're all out to bring awareness to the plant and the medical benefits. Just stop with the BS.
Yeah, I think I think a lot of it just stems from a lot of hating and jealousy. People see others doing something that they aren't doing, and so they get fucking mad. And you're right. I see a lot of posts where you're seeing somebody's words explaining a fight that they had, or like it's just like nobody cares. Like you said, like 4 years ago, there was like 20 of us women making a 1 30-second reel with each other where we're all passing a bong. And now I can't even find any
Actually,
of those
I actually
anymore.
remember
I
that.
remember that.
Yeah,
Yeah, me
like,
too.
and now
Yep.
nobody's even around. So I don't know.
Yeah, we used to do the videos too where we'd like pass a seedling, and then
Yeah, yeah,
and then you pass a seedling to the next person, and the next thing you know, they got a plant like this big that they're holding, and then
yeah.
goes
Yeah.
to the bigger plant, and then after um they passed the last plant over that was in flower, and then I was smoking a joint. Now you know what I mean. It went
Mhm.
full, but we were doing collaboration videos with like 6 people, 7 people.
Yeah, yeah. But now,
Yeah.
people get, they got mad because you got a fucking bottle of fucking nutrients in the mail that they didn't get. So now they don't like
Yeah.
you because you know what I mean? It's just like whatever. I don't know. Like, there can only be one fucking genetic company out there, and
Right.
nobody else can be fucking good. Like, that's not helping.
Yeah.
That's not being community. That's not helping each other grow. Like, why can't you both be good? You know what I mean? Like, so
Exactly.
definitely very weird out there. That's why I say you just got to do it for you. Put on your shit what you want. You're not. I mean, people can prove me wrong, but we're not going to make hella money on Instagram. We're not. All this shit I do, like with GML, with Lotus, like they don't pay me fucking money or anything like that. They'll
Yep.
send me some product. And a lot of times I order it myself because I don't want to ask you and tell you that I'm out. Can you send me some? So I'll order it myself.
Yep.
Like, I'm not making money on there. I'm not, if you go on there and you be yourself and you post what makes you happy, you're going to attract the right people to your page,
Exactly.
and you're going to start seeing the shit that you need to be seeing. But if you're going to go on there with this whole false pretense that you're the best genetics, or you're the best nutrients, or you're the best grower, or it's just not going to work, because we're all fucking good and we're all not good. There's a lot we can learn, and there's a lot we can teach
Exactly.
each other with. So,
Yep.
um,
Oh yeah, exactly. Like Bunny and I grow in the same soil. We use different nutrients most of the time, but you know, we have different grow styles. So there's times where I'll ask her a question about something, and then there's times that she'll ask me a question about something. I don't fucking know everything. She doesn't know everything. You don't know everything. We're all
yeah,
And
here
you never
learning. That's
will.
yeah,
that's
it's
why
like,
I'm
There
here.
will
Like
always
I'm
be
here
something
because
new to learn.
dude, like
yeah,
I
like I
did
do this
so.
because I love learning from you guys. I love learning from the community, the people in the chat. Like I learn every single time we do these shows. I don't
Dude,
think we've ever done one where I didn't learn something from the person.
Yeah, and it's so cool too because like in my job, well, prior to what I do now, I used to train property managers. We would, buy a new property or take over a property, and they would send me off to the city it was in, and I would train the new manager. And at the end of every year, the state of Oregon would hold an affordable management property manager awards ceremony, and they would recognize managers throughout the state. And I had spent 1 year training managers and just like trying to just like, you guys are going to do the best, you guys are great, blah, blah, blah. And when we went to that awards ceremony, I remember my maintenance technician, he was like, aren't you mad that you didn't win any awards this year? And I was like, dude, every one of my managers I trained won an award. Do you know how fucking great that feels to know that like the people that you helped and you trained are doing that well, that they are winning the awards? And so it kind of goes like with this, like when you teach somebody something and they come back at you and they're like, dude, look, you showed me and look at what the fuck happened. Like, not only does that make you feel good, but that person too is like, man, like they didn't steer me wrong. They actually like, they didn't gaslight me and keep any information from me. Like they actually, it's such a good feeling to the heart. Like do good, live right, be good to people. And I just, I don't know, like you fuck somebody over and then what, you put your phone down and then you're like, I feel so good now. No, you put your phone down and
my life is made.
No wonder nobody likes me. You know what I mean? Right. Like, so yeah, that's how I am. I get on there. Like I said, if I don't like something that somebody posts, sure, I can say something like, I was the head of the debate team in high school. I will fucking go rounds with you if you want to. But I'd rather be a decent human and just keep on passing. And if you see something you like, then you like it. And if you don't, keep going. And if it's that big of a deal, why not remove them so that way you're not seeing it? And you know what I mean? So
exactly.
Well,
I
and
wish
that's
people would go by those words.
Right.
Buddy and I were having this conversation like probably about a week ago when we caught some slack over a guest that we had on the show. Like, there's so many other YouTube channels out there. There's so many Instagram pages out there. Like, if you don't like something, change the channel. That's why there's so many different news channels. That's why there's so many different sitcom TV shows. That's why there's so many dramas out there, because if you don't like it, you can change to the next episode. You know what I mean? And you might not like this episode on the show today, but next week you might love it. Or you know what I'm saying? Like, not everything is going to be for everybody all at once. Like, you're always going to make somebody mad somewhere down the line.
Yeah, and why you have to catch shit for it, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, I can look at this. So we have, let's say, Justin Selvey on the chat right now. He's not going to like every single fucking person that you guys like. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so if Justin can't just simply skip the show till next week, he's got to talk shit, then Justin, you know what I mean? Like, so yeah, it just, and nothing against you, Justin. You're just like the first name that I saw when I looked at the chat. But
he's like, what did I do?
Right. It's just it's about being an adult is all it is.
Exactly.
It is. And
exactly.
a decent human being, like you said.
Yeah, a lot of people are out there just like huge ass fucking toddlers in life. It's just,
oh my god, yes. And you would think the older they are, the more mature they would be, but no, the older they are, the more high schoolish they are.
yeah, especially with the dudes.
Not everyone, but some.
Danny.
Yeah,
but the dudes be out there just,
oh my goodness, yes,
bad day.
All the testosterone.
It's fucking nuts. Like, I just watch sometimes and I just shake my head and I'm like, Instagram's turned into a circus over here. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like,
And they're all like that. Don't listen to anybody when they're like, "Oh, come over to X, it's better." There's the same bullshit going on X, and the
Yeah,
same
we tried
bullshit
that.
going on over on Facebook. If you're gonna do anything, I swear, TikTok, man. I get on TikTok and I do nothing but laugh. I don't know how my feed gets the way it gets, but there's nothing but funny shit on TikTok. I just be laughing on that thing. But yeah, it's I wish that we weren't all so far from each other. I wish that the United States was like closer and compact, and it only took me like 6 hours to get to you guys, because then we would all be able to connect on more of a fucking normal human level. Like, a lot of people, they get mad, I don't check my Instagram messages for fucking days. Well, I don't have notifications for Instagram on. If you want to talk to
And
me,
we have lives.
yeah, like if you
Too.
want to talk to me, get my phone number like a normal human being and contact me that way. Like, if there is a world outside of social media, and I hate how a lot of people are like, "Oh, social media isn't real." For a lot of people, it's not. There's a lot of filters out there and a lot of shit. You know what I mean? But for a lot of us, it is real. It is our real life. And so I don't know. I just wish that we could all just be cool and everything could be cool. But everything's always forever changing. So who knows?
It is.
Who knows?
It's funny because you go
Yes.
through a time period where you're like, "Oh, wow, this is like it's comfortable, like this is a cool spot to be." And then like that, you're like, "Holy fuck, what happened?
Yeah.
What is
Yeah.
going on?" Like I haven't even been like Bunny's been here for eons, and I'm like a rookie compared to Bunny on Instagram, but in the 4 or 5 years that I've been here, I've seen this place change so many times and so differently overnight. It's just like I don't understand, like
I
one
was
minute it's the
on
greatest place ever, and then the next minute you're like, holy
yeah.
fuck, I hate this.
Yeah.
I was on Instagrams before Reels were even a thing. You could only post. There was no such thing as Reels. There was no such thing and yeah, I definitely seen it go from good to bad to worse.
Good for a minute to whoa, what the fuck?
Yeah, and then
That's
back to good
crazy.
for a minute, and then yeah. But we are coming up. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I'm a very much a remove it from your life if it bothers you person. So, my feed, I'll be honest with you, I see the bitching about the, oh, so and so this or so and so that, but
yeah.
Other than that, I don't put anything in my space that I don't want. So I keep it pretty clean on there. If you're annoying the shit out of me, or you're just, constantly whatever, I will remove you and just not say anything and carry on. So yeah, you just gotta make it how you want it. I mean, what, they're gonna climb out the phone and be like, "Why'd you take it?" Like, no, it's like poof. It's
People
like
get
the
really
magic
offended though.
I'm gonna find your address. I'm gonna beat you up. Oh my goodness. Here's my address. Let me help you.
right.
The door's
you
unlocked.
get me in
Come on in.
the eye, please.
That's funny.
But yeah,
So, yeah.
I mean, I would like to see less bitching and more of how it used to be, where we were all, involved in reels together. Shit, I was doing shit with people I didn't even know. Like, I would like send it on and they're like, "Well, who's that?" "I don't know. Just put yourself in there." That's what they told me, like.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would like to see it get back to being fun again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, that was fun back then. There was a lot of those going around, and I thought it was pretty cool. But
It was a lot of fun to make them too.
We'll have to restart it. We'll have to get it going again.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, we should.
Definitely. But we are coming up to the hour, and
it flew by.
Tell everybody where they can find you and what you're up to, and you already told them that they can't get a hold of you unless they have your phone number. So
Yep. So You can find me on the old good book of face over there. My social medias are kind of for different though, so I try not to flood my Instagram with too many dog things because I know that it's primarily a bunch of cannabis people on there, and all of the people that I have on my Instagram right now, I do enjoy, so I don't want them to get sick of me and be like, I'm going to take her off. So I try not to
Yeah.
flood Instagram. With that, I primarily do a lot of that on my Facebook, and my family's on my Facebook, and I'll put shit on there that really irritates them too. So Facebook over there, if you want to see any dog shit or anything funny that you might steal to piss off your family. And then Instagram, I am on X. I am not on X as much as I should be. You know, it's a lot of work to keep up to
All these
date with so
platforms.
many different platforms.
Yeah,
If I
it
used
is.
them all for the same thing, then I could probably just share all across all of them, but I don't. So yeah, I mean, but the best way to, if you want to utilize me for anything, I don't know. I mean, maybe I have some information that you might need, or if you want to foster dogs or adopt dogs, doesn't matter where you're located because there's transporters that get these dogs to you. And when you foster, rescues pay for their expenses. Send me a message and I will give you my phone number. And then that way, you don't have to wait 4 days for me to get into my Instagram messages. So yeah, you can just hit me up and I'll give you my number, and then you can just fucking message me that way. It's a lot better. If you ever need anything, light related, Grandmaster is going to be putting out a really affordable, really, really nice light. So, when that comes out, you can pair it with my discount code. If you have any questions, I guess, about outdoor growing, because indoor growing, I'm kind of useless, but I could try. But if you have any questions on outdoor growing, anything. I mean, if you want to do some fucking fun reels, if you need seeds, if you need anything, if your dog is hurt and it's at the vet, like, if you need anything, just send me a message. I'll get on there by 11 o'clock, which is 4 hours from now. So you got 4 hours, and then I'll send you my number. And that's the best way to get a hold of me. But yeah, I don't have social media notifications on. I would get way too many notifications throughout the day. So
yeah,
you definitely can swipe up my phone number and just get a hold of me that way.
perfect.
And Saturdays at 9 p.m. Eastern, is it?
Yep. It has not been Saturdays lately though. GML has been, like, right now he's in Texas for a hemp convention. Like, he's been super busy. So I think he did say 2 weeks ago that 4 weeks we should be back on for every Saturday. So yeah, Saturdays at 6 p.m. I always put the link in my bio. I put your guys' link in my bio too. So I always put the link in my bio so you guys can go on Saturday and click the link and just go straight to the show. But yeah, Saturday, 6 p.m. is all about lights and LEDs and growing. And we got some sunglasses coming out with Mercules. They're actually, they're sunglasses, but they're more for the lights, so you don't mess up your eyes when you're under the LED lights.
That's badass.
Yeah, so we're gonna have him on the show too, and I might rap one of his songs for him. So if you guys want to see me make a fool out of myself, that's the fucking show to do it. I'll tell you right there. I was like,
good old Canadian boy.
Himself to bust
out.
GML's
Canadian too, though.
Rap, huh?
GML's Canadian too, right?
Yeah. So
cool.
Yeah, that'll be a cool show. But yeah.
Yeah, that will be. Yeah, you'll have to let me know when that one's going up. I would definitely like to see that one. Mercules is a cool dude.
Dude, if I get enough cojones, I'm gonna fucking rap. I'm not joking you.
He'd love it.
You should.
Sure he'd love it.
Yeah, I probably need to put a couple shots down for that. Put a couple shots down, and I bet you anything, and you guys see me rapping to Mercules on fucking.
Oh yeah. I want to see it. I want to see it. But yes, thank you very much for coming on. We appreciate you.
Yes,
And
thank you so much.
Thank
keep
you for
keep
having
doing
me
what
come
you're
on.
doing.
Thank you,
course.
everybody in
Absolutely.
the chat. Like I said, I didn't really see your guys' chat, so just send me a message if you have any questions or anything, or if you just want to laugh at me, or if you want to convince me to rap for Mercules on live and make a fool out of myself.
Send her a message.
Yeah. Just message
Yeah,
me.
there's 42 people in here right now, so everybody has to send her a message telling her to rap for Mercules.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'll do it too. If I get enough cojones, I'm not joking. I'll close my eyes, take a couple shots, and I'll do it.
Oh yeah. I'm looking forward to
Love
that
it.
for sure.
All right, guys. Well, I
Yes.
appreciate you asking me to come on.
Of
Absolutely.
course. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Definitely. All right. You have
Have a
yourself a
great
good night,
night.
and we'll talk soon.
Okay, cool. I don't know how to get out of here. Oh, I found it. Okay. Bye, guys.
See ya.
Bye. Oh, what a great night.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. And
She's
I'm
so
sure there's a
funny.
lot more too
Like her.
that we didn't even get into. Yeah, she's fucking hilarious.
Oh God. Yeah, she is.
Yes.
So
We-
next no wait. Friday. Friday is Come Show Your Grow. So yeah. Who do we have next?
Come show your girl.
I think I know who we have next Wednesday.
I am thinking
I'm
of two
just
people
gonna
off the top of my head right
double-
now. I just can't remember what order they're in.
So next Wednesday we have Mr. Matt himself from ICANN THC.
Yes,
So that's gonna be he is so smart too.
He is.
And
He is.
funny
Yeah,
too.
we're gonna dive deep into the world of ICANN THC. Mr. Matt.
Yes, so you're
Yeah.
definitely gonna want to
he
stay
raps
tuned for
too.
that.
He raps too. Maybe we can even get him to rap.
There we
Got
go.
the bars on the show.
From now on moving forward, every one of our guests have to do a little rap. A little bar.
Yeah, it'll be like Sway in the morning over on Shade 4-5.
Yeah.
Every guest has to drop a freestyle. Spit some bars in the Valley of the Hyenas. Yes.
All right.
Yeah, so
So we will
next week's
see
gonna be
you.
a fun show. Last week
Yes,
was a fun show, and tonight was a fun night. So
a great
stay
show.
tuned
Yeah.
for our Wednesdays and come join us on Fridays, and you can actually come up on the panel and show your grow.
Show your grow.
So, and if you're scared to do that, just talk to some of the people in the chat. They'll comfort you. A lot of the people in the chat were nervous their first time too, and
Oh
now
yes.
they're some of the regulars. They're the people that come up every week, and we get to see beautiful plants, and they're not scared anymore. I'm not afraid anymore. All right. On that note, it's
Night.
time to go. Peace out, everybody.